Hey gang, how you doing? It's Ray Glasser once again, aka the Videoholic, coming to you from Cleveland, Ohio on Sunday, July 17th, 2011. And many of you may be wondering, haven't seen me for a long time here on YouTube, and it's very true. I have not been on camera probably since sometime last year. And there are reasons for that, which I'll get into in a few minutes. I'm sitting in front of what's left of my Betamax library, and I say what's left of because I got a new friend I made last year who lives in Solon, Ohio, who was very slowly shrinking the size of my Betamax library while increasing the size of his. And he's the only guy that's responded to my offer of coming over and looking through my Betamax tape and seeing what he wants to take. He's got 3 Betamaxes so far and about 250 of what were my tapes. And you may be wondering, why am I doing this? Well, a lot of reasons. Number one, I just want to shrink the size of this wall. I just don't need all these tapes anymore because I don't watch most of them. And number two, I find myself watching DVDs a lot more than I watch these videos. Main reason, of course, is the incredibly improved quality over videotape. So this is kind of passé. This shirt actually goes back to the days of Miami Vice, which should be obvious to many of you, back in the 1980s. And at one time, that was true. Videotaping was my only vice. I have others now. One is ice cream. But anyway, let me digress. This year is a lot worse than I was hoping it would be. I thought 2010 was bad. 2011 is turning out to be a pretty lousy year for me, which is why I've not really been in the mood to come on camera. But I thought, well, let me do this and get it done. At least people will know why I've been absent from their YouTube screens. Last year was a pretty dull and boring year for me. I was working all year, making a living and all that. Not really crazy about the job I had, but at least I was working. This year I've had 2 major mishaps. The first occurred in January when I went to Las Vegas for the first time in 3 years to attend the Consumer Electronics Show and see some old friends. I had an infection under one of my arms, turned out to be a very serious boil, and I had to go to the emergency room and have it lanced and all that. That bill is still pending. It's a tremendously high bill, which I'm having a hard time paying. So that was one mishap. I spent 8 hours of my Las Vegas vacation in the emergency room. 4 hours one day and 4 hours 2 days later. But at least I got that infection taken care of, so it's kind of history. That's the first big mishap for this year. The second is I'm currently unemployed. For the first time since 1986, I have found myself without a job. I actually quit the job I had at that large bakery where I'd been working since 2008, and I found another job actually right here in Menor, in my own neighborhood. That didn't work out. I lasted there 2 weeks and they let me go. So I found myself without a job. And I'm still looking for a job after about 6 weeks of being unemployed. I'm not getting unemployment. I didn't qualify for it. And things are pretty hairy right now. So in that respect, this has been a really terrible year for me. Have a few irons in the fire that may or may not come to pass, but time will tell. In the meantime, I did retire from my Bakers Union again. I'll be getting a small pension each month starting in September, but nowhere near what I need to live on. So really got to find some work. I'm not qualified to do a lot of things. I've been in the retail and restaurant business most of my life. Have worked in a few factories, and it's very slim pickings up here in northern Ohio. It really is. So it's kind of a hairy situation. So that's what's making this year pretty lousy for me. I recently had 2 anniversaries I want to get into real quickly. In March of this year, I celebrated 4 years of uploading videos to YouTube. And I'm not done. I still have some odds and ends I want to upload to some of my channels every once in a while. But as far as uploading a lot of old clips, I'm pretty well through. Unless I come across some odds and ends I didn't know I had, or I forgot to upload, or whatever, I'm pretty well done uploading a lot of videos to my, I think I have 8 active YouTube channels right now. So that's one anniversary. March was 4 years of uploading to YouTube. The biggie was last month, in June of 2011, I celebrated 35 years in home video. I got my first Betamax in June of 1976, and I cannot believe that was 35 years ago. And in those 35 years, I spent tons of money on this video collection, but more so on getting the Betamaxes in my house from eBay or wherever, keeping them maintained and serviced and fixed and all that, and reselling them and everything else. And it's been a really expensive but fun hobby. I mean, I have a lot to show for it. We're still about 2,400 and some odd tapes in this room. So it's been a lot of fun over the years collecting videos, but I'm essentially done with that too. As of this spring, I actually pretty well stopped collecting current TV with the end of Smallville, which I've been following religiously since 2001 when it premiered, and it ended in the spring of 2011. Great series. I love the whole Superman saga, and I thought it was a very, very well done series. But with Smallville ending, I no longer collect or watch current TV, network TV, syndicated TV, whatever. I just really have no interest in it. It's funny, back in the 1970s, if you taped a 1-hour TV show and took out the commercials, which we all did back then, you were left with about 50 to 52 minutes of program content. Now, that same 1-hour TV show will give you, if you're lucky, 40 minutes of program content. So they've actually added about 10 to 12 minutes of commercials in a 1-hour TV show over the last 30 to 40 years. That's pretty lousy, if you ask me. Every 5 minutes you have another commercial break, and those little animations on the bottom of the screen drive me nuts, and even the station logos make me crazy. I just hate it. So that's part of the reason I just don't have any interest in watching or collecting current TV. Plus, I have a whole wall of videos to watch, many of which I have not watched in 20 to 30 or more years. So I have plenty to watch on my TV. Plus, I have a pretty good-sized DVD collection, which is always growing. I'm buying used DVDs off Amazon, or renting them for Redbox or whatever. And the quality of DVDs on my HD TV is just incredible. So I'm really happy with that. That's why I'm watching fewer beta tapes and more DVDs. Plus the fact that many movies I have on beta that I now have on DVD, I don't need the beta copies anymore, so I'm giving them to my friend Mike, and he's enjoying them. Even though they're not quite as good as DVD, he may not have them on DVD. And actually, many movies on this wall are not available on DVD. I must have 100 or more made-for-TV movies on this wall that I'm very proud of, and most of them have never come out on DVD, at least not official studio releases. A lot of times you can buy what I would call bootlegs of them, when somebody takes them off TV like I have, and they burn them to DVD and sell them on the internet. That to me is not a studio release. So I have a lot of stuff on this wall that has never been released on DVD and may never be released on DVD. So I'm keeping the stuff in my beta library that is rare. A lot of network TV specials that will never be shown again, I am going to keep. But most of the movies that are pre-recorded, or most of the movies that are widely available on DVD, I don't have to have them on beta anymore. So that's the story. That's why my Betamax library is shrinking. That's why I am no longer essentially collecting on home video. I can really say I was in home video for 35 years because I really stopped collecting off TV. I'm only collecting movies now on DVD. And once in a while, if I find a little gem somewhere on TV, I'll tape it. And that's pretty much it. Plus the fact that as of July 31st, in a couple of weeks, my replay DVR will no longer update the menu every night like it has been since I bought it in 2000. So I cannot time and record shows anymore. What I'll have to do if I want to record a show that's on in 12 hours or something is just keep the replay on, tune to that channel, and go back to what I used to do, time and record on a Betamax by using the audio and video inputs of the Betamax coming out of the DVR's audio and video outputs. And that way I can still record a TV show. I cannot record in high definition or widescreen, and luckily my DVR, since it's a cable, goes right through the cable without a cable box, I'm getting all the channels in 4:3. So I can record them on beta, and at least I can preserve them that way. So that's pretty much the story. That explains why I'm having a bad year this year, why I've stopped collecting videos, and my 2 anniversaries of this year. Also, in case you're wondering, I'm really down to 2 Super Beta Hi-Fis. I have 2 SLHF 750s in my video rack right now, and those are the ones that actually have the drawer that comes out and lifts up where you can pick the tape up out of the Betamax. It's really a neat machine. Records and plays back Beta 1, 2, and 3, and both of my 750s are in really great shape, so they should last me quite a while. I'm putting very little use on them these days. So, that explains where I've been, why I've not been on YouTube that much, and I just hope this year gets better. It's not very good at all so far. I really don't know how this year's going to wind up. but hope it's better than it is right now. Anyway, Ray Glasser signing off from Cleveland, Ohio on Sunday, July 17th, 2011. And take care, and we'll talk to you again someday. Bye-bye.